Alright, second video doing another tier list. For this video, I'm going to be doing devil fruits. Something I kind of wanted to debate about, or not really debate, but sometimes I just sit around and I just think, like, what would be fun devil fruits to have? So, this tier list has, I actually deleted one of them because it was kind of just useless to have, I felt like. But we have Pirate King, Yonko, Warlord of the Sea, Fodder, and then Buggy's crew. And there is about like maybe one, two. Hold on, I might say it up here. I guess 100 something devil fruits. So I think the way that I'm gonna base this is what I think would be a good devil fruit just to have, maybe in like real life, or just even in the One Piece fiction itself. What is like actually a good devil fruit? Now the pop pop fruit, I don't even know if I remember what that is. I see that right there. I think that might be from Dressrosa. Now, if anybody's seen my first video that's watching this video, you should also be warned that I have kinda bad memory, and I started reading and watching One Piece a little over 2 years ago. I'm caught up now, but I don't really remember all the details of every single devil fruit. So in in that case, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just add another row, another roll real quick, and I'm just gonna put don't remember. So hopefully that doesn't really happen. The art fruit, I think that's Kanjiro's fruit. Kind of hard to tell with the picture. Also, if you aren't caught up with One Piece, so there's some things here that maybe you just haven't seen in its full potential yet. Just be warned. I'm going to be going off of my knowledge as somebody that is on the current manga chapter caught up. So, and I'm also going to be going off potential too. Potential of the fruits. Art fruit. I would say out of like what this fruit can do, it would have to be Pirate King because when we found out Kanjuro was a traitor, he was actually creating things that looked identical to real things. So this fruit is overpowered. You can create things that look entirely real, that you cannot differentiate, and things that are sentient. So you could draw tons of gold or something. So I would say that it's definitely a Pirate King level Devil Fruit. The Bubble Fruit, I would also say that this is fodder. It's not only, I mean, all Devil Fruits have the weakness of seawater, but as long as you get yourself wet, you completely negate it. It doesn't cause really any physical pain either. The only way that this would be like really viable is if you just hate dirt completely and you just want to keep yourself clean. I mean, maybe if you're trying to strangle someone, it might be good. But overall, it's just fodder. I wouldn't even put it in Buggy's crew. Which, to be honest, nah, I mean, Buggy's crew definitely is worse than fodder. The Munch Munch fruit, I would say that the Munch Munch fruit would be a Warlord fruit because, I mean, you can kind of just eat anything and kind of gain, like, I'm pretty positive, if I remember correctly, you can kind of gain the ability. Or you can, like, convert your body after eating certain things. The Spring fruit, I think Bellamy had this fruit. I would say that this fruit is also I'd probably give this to Buggy. Like I wouldn't be surprised if a member of Buggy's crew were to use this fruit. The Chop fruit, what it just has to be a Buggy fruit. But to be honest, I would probably put it in Warlord actually, if I'm being serious, just because you're completely immune to any type of melee based weapons. You're only weak to bomb or like spherical bullet based projectiles, and even then you can just pop parts of your body off. You can kind of fly too, as long as your other body parts are moving. So I'd say it's actually a pretty strong devil fruit. The barrier fruit, this is, in my opinion, it's going to be Pirate King, but behind the art fruit. I mean, this is just pretty strong. You can pretty much just deflect anything. And who knows what this would be when it's awakened. But yeah, I would say there's not really much to say about it. It's just really strong. The butter fruit, to be honest, I don't remember much about this fruit. Any fruits that I don't really remember much about, I'm gonna just it just, in my opinion, I don't think it's that good of a fruit. If I don't remember much about it, then it's not that good of a fruit. The same with the berry fruit. The sticky fruit. Hmm. I mean, I'm gonna put it probably probably fodder, simply just because it's absolutely disgusting and it's really not that good when you think about it. Hold on. I actually don't even, do I even know what this fruit is? I don't know if I remember what this fruit is or who even used it. Oh, I remember now. Yeah, I remember now. I think this is the biscuit fruit. Wait, yeah, I can kind of see the biscuit guy back here. I'm still gonna say that this is, I mean, I would probably put it Warlord far back. Or I could put it actually ahead of the chop fruit. Wait, hang on a minute. Let me think real quick. Nah, I'm gonna keep it there. I was thinking about maybe putting in Yonko, but that's just because he can. It is stamina based, but the Munch fruit could definitely eat probably all these guys. And then if you're someone like Luffy, you can obviously eat these cracker guys. But if you're not able to do that, then you might be able to get cooked potentially. But it's kind of like you're only relying on creating biscuit minions. So bare bones by yourself, you're not really that good. The bomb fruit, I'm pretty sure there's another fruit that's better than this fruit. But I can't remember it off the top of my head. I think what I'm going to do is I'm probably just going to skip some of these and only focus on devil fruits that I for sure remember. Because there is a bunch of devil fruits. And then I might come back to some of the others. So I can't remember much of the bomb fruit, so I don't think it left that much of an impression. I'm pretty sure that there is one better, but I can't remember it off the top of my head. The arms fruit, I would say that this is, in terms of a devil fruit, I'd probably put it Yonko. It could be argued to be Pirate King because you can create literally any weapon. Baby Five was even able to make herself a nuke. But the art fruit could also probably do all of that. And then the barrier fruit could probably deflect all of that. So that's why I can't really put it Pirate King yet. The book fruit. Now this is a double fruit that I'm actually going to put Pirate King, if I remember correctly. If this is one of Big Mom's children's, because essentially you can just put a person in a book, and every page is basically like a pocket dimension, and that's pretty strong in my opinion. Now, of course, you have to get them in the book, but even so, I mean, the Big Mom had an entire library with just random things in random books. So I put it there. The heal, I would say that this is a devil fruit that I would probably put at the back of Warlord because it's strong, but it requires time and I'm pretty positive it requires stamina. The Snip Snip fruit, I'd probably put this in front of Warlord because it's very useful. You can just pretty much just cut up anything in the world, but I wouldn't say it's that strong. Now the Door fruit, I would have to say that this is also a Pirate King level fruit, and I would put it in front of, well, I would put it behind Barrier actually, in front of Book fruit. And again, I'm basing this off of what I think would just be really useful in real life, and also that like overall how powerful it could be in the right hands. Now, I'm still taking into consideration what we've seen in the anime and manga, obviously, and I'm not like completely just basing this off of a real life standpoint. But even so, the Door fruit I think is really, really strong. Now, I don't know if it ever stated a range of the doors itself, but even like with the Door fruit, you can just create a door anywhere. But you could also just open a door to nowhere, and you could just go inside the Door fruit dimension, which is what we've seen uh this character do, which I forgot his name off the top of my head. I have horrible memory. Let me just look up his name real quick. I know it off the top of my head because I remember really liking the fight because that's whenever Gear 2 was out. Or whenever we saw Gear 2. Yeah, Bluno. I don't know how I keep forgetting people's names. The Venom fruit, I could have sworn, I think there might be an upgrade of that too, but I could be wrong. But we do know that Luffy was able to adapt to Venom after this, but that could just be just based on Luffy's Devil Fruit power. But in general, I would say that this fruit is probably Yonko level, maybe higher. But you really don't have much uses with the Venom fruit besides killing, basically. So that's why I'm keeping it Yonko, because it's really only good for one purpose, whereas these, I mean, the barrier fruit's good for one purpose, but it can be used against multiple purposes. The wax fruit, this is another fruit that I'll put like behind the art fruit. It's basically the same, just weaker. But it does melt though. The brush fruit? Okay, I'm pretty positive. Wait a minute. Wait, I thought the art fruit was the brush fruit. Wait, what? Okay, so now I'm having some confusion. Hold on a minute. Wait a minute. Who the heck ate the art fruit then? Oh yeah! This is during Dressrosa where she was turning the boat. She was turning the Sunny into like something crazy. I'm still keeping it Pirate King. It's still really good. Same with the brush. The brush is gonna go first actually. The brush is what I was basing the art on. I completely forgot that there was two of them, but regardless, they're still both Pirate King in my opinion. The Garb fruit. I might come back to this. I don't remember much. The float fruit. Don't remember a whole lot, so I'm gonna put that there. The glare fruit. Um, I mean, it basically kind of just gives you. I think it's clairvoyance is what Viola called it. Sure. I would say it's worthy of Warlord, but hmm, I'm thinking of like, nah, it might just be straight up fodder actually. I might just put it fodder because it's useful to an extent, but observation haki exists. And if you get your observation haki to a certain level, then you could see into the future. So it's like this devil fruit doesn't really matter too much. I don't remember much about this devil fruit either. Of course, we got the Gum Gum fruit, which I know the true origin. If you're caught up, you know the true origin. But I don't remember if it has like a complete different name. I know it's technically a mythical Zoan. Wait, well, it's just it's the sun god Nika devil fruit, but I don't know if it has like a specific name. But I'll just call it the Gum Gum fruit. We don't really know the full potential of this fruit, but what we have seen, I am putting it at the back of Pirate King. Simply because what we do know now and the potential of this devil fruit and how the Gorosei fear it, it has to be a Pirate King devil fruit. Now, the Quake fruit, this is also going to be an S tier devil fruit, and I'm going to put it ahead of these devil fruits. Because again, I think that the brush slash art devil fruit, those two devil fruits are really, really good. You could pretty much just create anything. But the Quake fruit is also really, really overpowered, and I think it deserves to be in Pirate King tier. Simply just because of the devastation that you can create. I'm 90% sure, if my memory serves me correctly, that during Marineford, uh, when Whitebeard was using it, islands from across the entire planet felt it, if I'm not mistaken. Now the spin fruit, this again, I wouldn't be surprised if someone on Buggy's crew were to have this. Like if they somehow got it one day or something. The flower fruit. It's definitely like it's not really used in a way you would think flowers would be used. Sometimes I forget that that's technically what Robin's devil fruit is flowers. But it is very, very useful, and I would say that it's probably Yonko level. The Ripple fruit. I would actually put this at Yonko in the front. I'm kind of even arguing maybe far back Pirate King, just because with this Devil Fruit, like you can just take anything, ripple it up, make it like paper, and then solidify it again. So you could take like diamond, a sheet. You can basically create a sheet of diamond, and then use it as coating or something. So it's very useful, but I don't think it's really that insane, to be honest. The hobby fruit. Ooh. Okay, I'm also putting this right here above these devil fruits. Now again, Luffy's devil fruit, we don't know the true power of it. We do know that there's Toon Force. So eventually I'll probably end up putting Luffy's devil fruit higher. But the reason why I'm putting the hobby fruit up here in Pirate King, which it doesn't really matter where I put it at, but I do think that it's a little bit better than these. It's just, well, actually, I'll put it at like the far back. It's really, really strong, but it does have a pretty easy kind of like weakness, and that is if you are aware of the wielder of this devil fruit and you're aware of how it works, then you just have to not get touched and somehow take this character down without getting touched. Maybe Conqueror's Haki is capable of just like negating that, probably. But I still think that it's a really, really strong devil fruit simply because just by touching someone, you turn them into an enslaved toy and everybody forgets about you. Literally everybody forgets about you. And that's another thing. I do plan on making a video on why I think Doflamingo is more evil of a villain or more menacing of a villain than Kaido, from my opinion. And Sugar happens to be a main reason for that. And this is a 20-minute video already, so I might have to end up doing 2 parts on this. But The hollow fruit. Hmm. I mean, this one is really good too, because you could also make yourself go intangible. But you're also still pretty vulnerable too, because if you go intangible, your body is just chilling there. So I would put this probably Warlord. I wouldn't say it's that insane. And again, the main reason why the flower fruit, in case anybody's wondering why I have this higher than these fruits, I just think it's more versatile. I mean, we have Robin creating like mega story level feat. She was able in Wano, she was able to make herself look like a straight up like succubus demon like thing, all with the power of flowers. And she's not really ever that open. It's kind of hard to get your hands to attack Robin or whatever. So with the hollow fruit, yeah, you can kind of attack people with some ghost, but you yourself, you're always vulnerable. The horn fruit, I would say it's also probably up in the Warlord of the Sea. It's nothing too crazy, but you can also save people's lives even though it costs a decade of your lifespan. The puff fruit. I remember this devil fruit, but I don't really like it at all. I would say, in my opinion, it's kind of fodder because it's just like a genie type thing that just pops out of something. So I feel like that's kind of lame. The stone fruit, I would put this at a Yonko level. Just having full control over stone, becoming as big as a mountain. The string fruit, this is also something that I would probably put at probably Yonko. It just depends on the hand, like who's using it. Um, but with like Doflamingo and the way that he used it, well, actually, I'll bring it back down to Warlord of the Sea, and it's not because Doflamingo was a warlord. I just think that it is a pretty dangerous devil fruit, especially in someone that's similar to like Doflamingo, but it's not that crazy, and it's really only useful if you're a villain, because then you could just manipulate people with strings. So without it being in like a person's hands who is specifically going after control, then it's probably useless. The awakening of just turning the environment to string, maybe a little kind of like weak compared to a lot of other devil fruits. You can also just chill in the sky though. You can like connect your strings to clouds. So that is still pretty cool. It's a bonus. But I could potentially put it at Yonko because you can also create clones out of strings. You can even just rebuild your entire body up out of string, and it's not a Logia either. I'm pretty positive it's a Paramecia. The jacket fruit. This is also straight up fodder, like completely fodder because it's only good with these two dudes, which I forget their name, but I do know that they were in the Dressrosa fight for the flame fruit. It's just it's only useful if you have somebody else that's really powerful to wear you as a jacket to let you take control. Which I feel like most people aren't just gonna they're not just gonna put a dude on them and then wear them as a jacket and let them take control. So it's pretty useless. The magnet fruit, which I'm gonna cut this short so it's not another 30-minute video because I still have a bunch more. I would say that this is also probably Yonko tier. Potentially, like, I mean, I could put it down here. Now, what I think is that I think that the magnet fruit can be used in a very, very good way, and it can be strong, but it's also kind of trash when it comes to the awakening. In my opinion, I think it's trash. And That's because you could just turn anything into kind of like a magnet. You can just give them a north or a south pole. But you still have to get your hand on said person. And if a person is powerful enough, like how Shanks was, which I know that there's not really much people that are just on Shanks level, but currently, pretty much all the people are going to be at Shanks level, uh, or even higher. Which I know we haven't seen Shanks at his full potential, but we can't act like Green Bull isn't going to be kind of like on that same level with Threat right now, and same with Blackbeard. And I don't think that Kid's awakened ability is going to be able to really do much on them. He's not going to really be able to touch them to really get it on them to then start magnetizing them. And if he does, it ain't going to do nothing to him really. Especially when you have, for example, Blackbeard, who's just going to absorb things with darkness or something. Probably go intangible. And then you have Green Bull, which no matter if he gets destroyed, really, he's just gonna regrow. So I just think his awakening at the current stage is not that good. Like it, the magnet fruit has a horrible awakening. It's not gonna get him that far anymore. But that's all I'm going to do for this first episode. The next episode, I'll probably like just go ahead and get all these set back up in the same spot, and then I'll go from there. And again, I'm probably just gonna skip some devil fruits that I don't really know to insane detail or that I remember. But there's a bunch of devil fruits that obviously I remember. Is that the Gorosei, the spider model? I can't tell what that picture is. But yeah, this is gonna be part one of ranking devil fruit powers. See you guys in part two.